You might be able to hear that there's commotion in the background. That's actually real. That's not FX right there. That's real.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States.
Hello, and welcome to a Bug Out Boys special. I'm Grimm, and today's adventure is going to start right here in the middle of suburbia. A scenario was given to us by a fan, Patriotic American on YouTube. Thank you, by the way, for doing that. And I thought I would give it a try. So I'm going to go into this hardware store just like it's any other day. But it's not going to be just any other day. So join me on this bug out adventure. So I'm in the store, just minding my own business, doing a little shopping, checking out some, maybe get a new chainsaw for the home, and all of a sudden, power's out. Phones are dead. I'm gonna run outside, look out, all of a sudden, there's smoke. People are in chaos. Cars are crashing into it. I can't even get to my car. I don't even know if my car is going to work anymore. All I got is about 40 bucks, 60 bucks in my wallet, and I need to use that to get stuff here to get to home to my real bug out bag. So what do I get? All right. Got all my stuff, and I am not gonna go across that parking lot. That is just insane. I mean, if you think about it, chaos is going down. Cars, if they're working, could be crashing into each other. Cars could be broken into already. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's being targeted. So right now, I am going out the back way of the hardware store and finding a little bit of a place where I can put all my equipment together. So you can see I'm going away from people. So let's find a nice little shady spot. I found a nice little spot. You might be able to hear that there's commotion in the background. That's actually real. That's not FX right there. That's real. Don't know what it is, but it's not my problem right now. I'm just going to take this moment to show you what I have purchased, and actually just came under the $60 that I had in my wallet. First, and the most expensive thing, was this utility blanket. It's a moving blanket. It's a quilted, insulated blanket, and this is all that I have on me. I was just going into the store and coming out. I wasn't planning on sleeping out in the open. So this is going to be some nice insulation when I finally find a place that I feel safe enough for me to sleep. Next, I bought a tarp. Nice 8x10. It's actually two-sided and actually has a nice olivey color, which will blend into the surroundings because, again, this is stealth camping to the extreme. You don't want to be found because you're not going to be in the wilderness. You're probably going to be, in someone's backyard, just trying to hide until you can get to your own place. Got some food, Cliff Bar, some jerky to sustain me. These were the only lighters that they had in store, these big things, but I just went with the lighter because I want fire, I want easy. It'll do the job. I got some paracord here. I went with that because you can gut it, strip it out. A lot of uses for it, high tensile strength. Everybody loves paracord. I also have this large stick here, or dowel, and the reason I got that is that it's a walking stick. It's also a little bit more protection something to keep people away, because we don't know how people are going to react in whatever this condition is. And even though I might be looking like a hobo walking down the street, I still have more than other people. I also bought 2 cans of energy drink, and you're thinking, well, why not water? Well, I want energy, but also these are cans, and I can do things with these cans later on in case I do need more hydration down the line. Bonus, got this plastic bag, can use this for some things. And also, full disclosure, I always carry on with me 1 knife, 2 knife, a ferro rod, a little bit of a multi-tool, and then actually also my everyday blade too. So these, plus my wallet. I do have my phone, and I'm gonna leave my phone off. I'm not gonna use the flashlight on it. I'm gonna assume that this thing is a paperweight. I'm not gonna use the GPS, nothing. It is dead. And last, I have my bracelet that I always have with me that has some paracord and stuff in it. If I have to use this, I will, but I think I got enough right here. And I believe, other than shit on my back, this is my life. This is what I have to get to my bug out bag at home. So let me pack this all up in a little bit better fashion. Now she's ready to go. And give you a quick rundown, I used a couple slip knots for the loops and then locked them up here. If you notice, I was having a little bit difficulty as I was trying to take it back and forth because I refused to cut the paracord. I have 50 feet of it. It's probably more than enough to build my shelter, but I just don't know. So I'd rather not cut it and just be safe than sorry. Did this so I can spread the weight over my shoulders a little bit more. Everything's packed in here. Got a little snack in my pocket. Now it's time to sling it up and go. Making my way behind some houses and continuing to try to avoid people. But I'm approaching an open area, and yes, an open area such as this baseball diamond, soccer field, schoolyard, basically. It's very inviting because you can traverse it very quickly, but you're also out in the open. And as I crest up this hill cautiously and peer, there are houses, there are plenty of areas for people to see me, for me not to see them, and it's gonna put you in a dangerous situation. I'm not saying that people are gonna be taking pot shots at you, but you don't know. And in the case of here, though, it'd be expedient to just cut right across. It'd be more prudent to find a way around, use the perimeter, like I'm right now in some very tall grass. I'm also staying below this ridge right here behind me, mostly below, so as to not give myself away. Go around these areas, or don't get near them all. Been traveling for a while, and I am by no means, this is not the woods. This is a tiny, tiny little park that's off one of the major roads that is on the way to my home. And I've just come in here for, well, for lack of a better word, to take a little bit of shelter. You know, I'm roughly out of the eye of people, the public. There are homes nearby. There is, I can see a couple homes right through the woods right there. So if I was actually using this location, I'd be very quiet, probably talking a lot quieter than I am now. But just taking a moment to plan, because the most direct route to your home might not be the best way to go, especially if it's a well-used or known road, lots of traffic, foot traffic or car traffic, and then also densely populated. I mean, if you're passing by a whole bunch of condominiums or apartments, a lot of people there, they're all freaking out. You don't want to go that route. You want to take the route that takes you away from a lot of people. So taking a moment right here to kind of think, all right, I've gotten this far, what's my next move? And all the while I've been on the road and in here, and as I continue to move forward, I've been trying to keep my eyes open and keep my ears open, my fingers on the pulse, so to speak, of my environment. Situational awareness. That is the most important thing right now. What am I hearing? What's going on? What direction? And if you want to learn more about situational awareness, check out the link that's going to be popping up in the corner for the bot, situational awareness. Because in a time like this, when you are at your bare minimums with rudimentary protection and not a lot of sustenance, you need to keep your finger on the pulse and aware of what's going around you. And right now, there's more sirens. So I'm just gonna keep low for right now, get my energy up, and then move on. Now these hydroline paths, they can offer a pretty nice highway. They're a path that is here, but most people would never take them. And I would have to say, in a pinch, you could probably use them to your benefit, because where everybody's using the roads, the sidewalks and things like that, no one's gonna think about a hydroline area. That being said, look at it. You're out in the open. Actually, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a deer sitting underneath that power line, standing. And I can see that from here. Well, I bet you someone else, even further, can see me. Also, there's forest on both sides, plenty of places for ambush. It's very expedient travel and a less traveled path. But I think I'm gonna dip back in the woods because it might be slower, but there's a lot more cover. Yeah, it looks like a pretty decent spot for my temporary home. And it's off the beaten path, though. I don't know if you heard that, but that's a dog barking. I still have heard dogs barking. So there's gotta be some houses around here somewhere. But again, it's not like I'm in the woods. I'm just in a patch of tiny woods. Heck, I could be in someone's backyard for all I know right now. But it's secluded, fairly quiet. I don't hear any traffic, all good things. Actually, when I came in here, a couple of deers popped out of it, so that must be a good sign. And it's a pretty nice flat spot, since I'm gonna be sleeping on the ground for, I think, the first time in Bug Out Boy history. Gonna want a nice little soft, flat piece of ground to be on. I'm sure you've noticed it's still pretty decently light out. It is the afternoon, but since I don't have any headlamps, any flashlights, or anything like that, I want all the light I can get to set up this temporary survival shelter, because this is the first time I've ever done it. So if it takes longer, well, I'm gonna want that light. So I'm gonna get to it. believe it or not, this is actually pretty comfy. And I think part of that is that I gave myself the time, the light, to set up my survival shelter. I went with a arrowhead diamond configuration with a tarp because you're actually able to tuck the excess underneath and lay on it, which gives you an additional barrier off the ground, and it's waterproof, well, to an extent. So if the ground's a little wet, you can use that, and your bedding, in my case, my moving blanket, is not gonna get wet. Actually, it's already pretty warm in there already. That's why I'm sitting out here relaxing. And, oh, it's also really low, if you noticed. I'm sitting here and I think my head would be touching it, and you want that. Remember, you don't want people being able to walk by and see that you're here. But now it's just time to relax and fuel up with some snacks and some hydration. But there's one thing that I just couldn't do without on a bug out. And that's my conflicted cards. Just wouldn't be the same. So, you guessed it. It is conflicted card time. And what do I want here? I want to take you. I'll take you. And the conflicted card reads as such. Due to World War III, ooh, it's not good already, the infrastructure of society has gone back to the level not seen since the 1800s. Your help is requested in forming the new government, and you can change or implement 5 laws as you see fit. What would these laws be and why? First of all, I have a picture of the Constitution on my phone, but my phone is not here, so worthless. But I also have a paper copy of it because I really believe in those laws. You know, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, right to assemble, all very important to me, and I think really makes USA a great country itself. So first I'd have to establish, are those still being implemented or not? But we'll just say that they are. That way I actually still have to think of 5 laws that I would change or implement. And I don't think I would change too many laws. I would just up the ante. I mean, we're back in the 1800s, and I definitely read somewhere in a history book, you know, that you stole a man's horse in the 1800s, well, you were hung. Cattle thieves, hung. I mean, so I think those would be like the laws that I would implement, that if you did something like that, you stole and were found guilty, you're hung. You kill somebody, you're found guilty, dead. Rape, oh yeah, rape, no. Man or woman, you're found guilty of rape, you are dead. I do not suffer rapists. And, pedophiles, you go straight to the line. I don't know, you might cut something off first before you die, but you're gonna die. Because I mean, there's no life in prison anymore. I mean, who's to say that we'll have the prisons anyway? No. It's the 1800s, it's a harsher life. We got through World War III, apparently. Yeah. And that's 4. 5. I think what I would do is, again, if this is not already established, I would establish that your sewage, your latrines, where your animals go to defecate and urinate and drink, that will all be below the communal water source for that township, that village, whatever it is. All of that is below. Because again, 1800s, that's how you get cholera and typhoid. It's contaminated drinking water from human feces as well as animal feces. So that would be straight up law that you do not establish a latrine, 500 yards from the drinking source, or animals, horses, just keep it clean. I would not want to have survived all of that and then die of cholera because someone done pooped in my water. So yeah, those would be my 5. But that's mine, and I am clearly the only one here. So we want to know what you would do. What are your 5 laws that you would change or implement in this new world? And if you do like these conflicted cards, there will be a sponsored link in the description. So go check them out. They're a lot of fun. Hope you can see me. This is I'm saying goodnight. Not a lot of light, just using this lighter. I got 2 of them, so I'm not too worried about using the flame. So far, everything has been quiet. Ate up my Cliff Bar, drank all my drink, and ready to bed down. So far with this adventure, this scenario, I'm feeling pretty good, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. So till then, good night.